spring training time here in Surprise, Arizona. D. Jackson with a couple of special guests. Orthopedic surgeon head doctor here, Dr. Vincent Key, and Salvador Perez, 2015 World Series MVP, fresh off of Tommy John surgery. And Dr. Key, let me ask you first of all, just walk us through what it takes for position players, especially to recover from Tommy John surgery.
Well, most of the time when we talk about Tommy Johns, we're talking about pitchers. And so there's not a lot out there in terms of position players, but it is different. When we talk about a pitcher, we're talking about them coming back from Tommy John surgery anywhere from 12 to 14 months. When we're talking about a position player, because of the volume is a little bit less, it may be in the neighborhood of 10 to 12 months. So that's really the big difference. The surgery's the same. The rehab's the same. It just has to do with the timeline being different.
And of course, Salvy, everyone is glad to have you back here and seeing you throwing, and everything looks normal. How do you feel right now?
Great. I feel almost 100%. You know, this guy doing pretty good job. Dr. Key, Blowman, Nick, all the staff, KT. You know, they take care of players really good. You know, so I feel great right now.
You know, sometimes, Dr. Key, it gets really tricky when the players feel good. That's not necessarily meaning that they're 100% back. What do you look for as a doctor to see if they're ready to go?
Well, the number one thing is sometimes we have to put the feeling of the player into it, but we have to step back a little bit and sometimes take the feeling out of it, because their bodies have to grow into the ligament, meaning that they have to provide a blood supply to the ligament. The other thing is what we call adaptation, that over time that ligament becomes more normal. And so even though they may feel great, you know, it's not like I do the surgery and 2 weeks later they're able to throw, because that ligament hasn't adjusted, it hasn't adapted. So that's a big thing as they go along in their rehab process.
And Salvy, you were not just sitting on the sidelines and being quiet. You were very instrumental last year and coming into this year. How difficult was it for you to have to sit and watch these guys?
Yeah, it was super difficult. And especially, everybody knows how much I love to play baseball, you know. And when Dr. Key and Nick tell me, hey, you're going to have a Tommy John, you know, it's hard time for me, hard time. But the good thing, I got to be positive, I got to be concentrated, doing my rehab, doing everything that they tell me to get better and to be back this year.
And Dr. Key, I want to get specific as far as the actual procedure of the surgery, where you're removing ligaments from certain places and basically doing almost a transplant. So just walk us through exactly what happens during Tommy John.
Well, exactly what it is a reconstruction. We are making them a new ligament, but we're incorporating their old ligament into the new ligament. And the one that we use is what's called the palmaris longus. And I can show you, it's basically this tendon here. And so we take that tendon and then we weave it into and make him a new ligament. And so, you know, that procedure, Dr. Job was actually the first person to undergo that procedure. And fortunately for me, I was actually the last resident to work with Dr. Job before he retired. But it's the same procedure. And so we incorporate that ligament and then let Salvy and God do their thing and incorporate it and let them go out and do their thing.
You know, the funny thing to me is some people don't even realize that Tommy John was a real person, an actual pitcher. Right. So that's one thing that gets lost in that.
Right, it does. I mean, he was a real guy, and he came back and he actually pitched well. And so, you know, from that novelty that Dr. Job did, and it was really a big thought process. He goes, well, how can I get this guy better? And he used to say the tendon that I just described, he goes, well, God put it there for the procedure itself, you know. But yeah, it's a big deal in terms of encompassing everything. Salvy's done a magnificent job in terms of his rehab. But like Salvy said, it's Nick Kenny, it's Jeff Blum, it's Kyle Turner. It's a whole team approach, and not only were we in terms of his ligament waiting for that to adapt, but we had to fix everything else. So it was a time to clean up other deficiencies, whether it be the shoulder, whether it be the scapula, his lower body. I mean, Salvy has basically transformed his body this year, and he's a ready well-tuned machine right now. So we're really, really happy.
Yeah, a lot of times we forget about actually how many times Salvy's actually throwing a ball during the course of a season, and that obviously has wear and tear. Last question for you, Salvy. Just looking forward to this year. Glad to get back out there. What do you see for yourself this year?
And you know what? The first thing, in the first game, the spring training, excited to play on Friday. And, excited for the season, for the opening day. A big bag when all these guys in the field, and everybody called me Salvy's bag, Salvy's bag, made me feel happy. And had the opportunity to compete and trying to win.
Royals will be trying to win it all once again, and hopefully another MVP run for Salvador Perez and the MVP staff here of medical staff and trainers. I'm D. Jackson for these guys here. Let's go Royals.